Okay, welcome everyone to our daily market analysis call in preparation for the trading on May 4th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only, and markets are volatile, so please be careful with your money. Do not trade the money that you cannot afford to lose. And if you have questions about your individual investment needs, please see your investment advisor. All right, so let's get started with our Forex factory here. We just talked a little bit about FOMC. Market took some time. Market was looking to the Fed to see what the policy was going to be going forward with the interest rate. And what it seems right now is that we have where is it? So Fed basically did not, they held the rate steady. They did not change that. They are keeping it, and they're keeping it steady. They are still looking at potential rate hikes and potentially in June. And even with the negative data, we saw that percentage of people who were expecting an interest rate hike in June had decreased, but based on the Fed meeting here, the market is taking that as positive, so those percentages are going back up again. Okay, so sorry, somebody is trying to talk to me. Okay, so coming up tomorrow, what do we have? We have PMI numbers out of the Eurozone. We have services PMI number for the British pound. PMI numbers have been coming out positive for the British pound. The last numbers, everything that has data that has come out has been positive. And as a result of that, we have seen the British pound go up. So one thing that has changed, sorry, are you guys not able to hear me?
It's easier.
There you go.
How's that?
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Are you, oh, sorry. Okay. I see what you mean. Yes, sorry. Here we go. Okay. So one of the things, the data has been coming up positive. So one of the changes that happened in British pound today from fundamental perspective was that there was renewed talk about Brexit. There was one of the stories that I was reading where Prime Minister Theresa May is not allowed to attend some of the meetings, and they have already started talking about Brexit. And here we also have international banks. They are planning their pre-exit moves from London. So there is a little bit more Brexit talk coming into the market. So as a result of that, I think we are going to see the pound drop. So that's something that we have to look at, and I think there may be a good trading opportunity here because we have Fed that is looking positive, and British pound. It was buoyed by the whole positive, outlook from the markets because of the June elections, and we're not seeing that anymore. So. So as a result of that, pound may drop. So that's a trade that we will look at today. So let's go on to the charts now. Oops, my ugly charts. Oh, looks like I may have lost my charts. Okay, so we'll go with what we have here. For some reason, my platform is not storing my charts. All right. I was marking up some charts. I highly recommend marking up charts. So I mark up trades on my charts, and some of you have seen my YouTube show that I do where I mark up charts, trades. It's a really good way to basically train your brain to see the trade setups. Okay, so now that the chart is clear, let's take a look at we're looking at Euro US dollar daily chart here. This is the level that we have been watching, and this is where the price has been trading for the last little while here. And today, this is the move that I was looking for earlier in the day, and it did not happen till after FOMC. So this is the move we are looking for. So basically, I'm looking for price to come into the bottom of this range. And one reason for that is because of elections coming up. On the weekends. Right now, Macron is still getting a lot of positive polls, and Le Pen has been trying to sway the votes in her favor. She's changing some of the language that she had been using. Her stance has softened a little bit, and as a result of that, she's, or at least she's trying to sway people towards her. However, even in spite of that, Macron is still in the lead, and with elections coming up, we are likely to see more risk in the market in terms of euro. So I'm not looking for it to break above. However, it could happen if one particular situation would have been FOMC today. If FOMC had been dollar negative, in that case, we could have seen a break above this level. Another thing that could cause it to go up would be non-farm payroll. If the non-farm payroll come out really negative, then we could have the pushback up and even a potential break. Otherwise, we would have to wait for the results of the elections to come out. And if the elections, the results are that Macron won the elections, then we are likely to see this push back up. But for now, prior to the elections, I'm expecting this to be range bound. So yesterday was up day, and it didn't quite get to the top of the range, but it started to turn, and now we have a bearish engulfing candle. As a result of that, we are looking for another move to the downside now, but I'm not really looking for a big break of this level either. It could happen, so we would keep that in mind. But in terms of pullback here, we could get a pullback into this 10900 area, really. This is the level, and then or into the pivot point here, and then looking for the price to move back down into this range 108.50 level here. So overall, I am bearish on euro and looking for it to come into the bottom of the range. So treating this as a range-bound market for this week. Pound is the one that actually dropped, and this could give us an interesting opportunity, and this is where actually I would like to place a trade today. Again, I would suggest look at this and see if you agree with it, then you can choose to take a trade, but otherwise try it in demo. So what we have here is a bearish engulfing candle. So price moved up, however, it was not able to break this level. So this is the highest we got, and now we have two different, from fundamental perspective, two different things going on. US dollar positive, and then we have the whole Brexit thing that is negative for the British pound. So as a result of that and the bearish engulfing close here, I'm looking for price to drop. The target would be this 2770 area, so let's say 2780-ish area. That will be the target on this. So before the price drops, we may see it go back up again. So in terms of pullback, we are looking for price to potentially go into into the pivot point. See how it lines up quite nicely with the support and resistance here. So these pins are just below here into this level here, which is 2890 level. So about 2900, approximately 2890 to 2900 level. So I'm looking for a move like this, and then a drop, break through this level, and then another drop here. The target will be 2780. So 2770 is the low, so maybe even 2790 could be a good target. So that way we get a nice drop. So this one, I'm going to place a pending order here. So I'm going to place a pending order into 2890. The stop loss would be above here. So the best stop loss would be up here. If that's too far, we could put it up here. So this is a little bit more, you know, that's closer. That one is better because it gets you out of this one, the top here. So one of these stop losses, whichever you are, you know, person is more comfortable with. So, but the target will be 2790 area here. We are currently at 2872, so we're looking for price to go up into 2890 area and then break through this 2860 level and finally go into 2790. So let's take a look at what's our, so that's about 98 pips, and the stop here would be 63 pips. And 84 pips if you put it on top. So I would say small position or demo trade this, but that's the trade that I'm looking to take tonight. I'm going to put my pending order over here, but I will watch this. If the price doesn't go all the way, then we may just have to do on a break of this. I may take the trade on the break of 2863 level, looking for price to move back, back down. Okay, so that's our pound dollar. Let's move on to dollar CAD here. Okay, dollar CAD daily was very, very bullish. Looks like I've lost all my support and resistance levels as well since I restarted the computer. So here we are looking for this. So it's in this range. So Canadian dollar was actually quite good today. It was it pulled back, took off, and then pulled back. So right now we are in this range. So I would treat this as a range bound market. So to the upside here, we have 3750 level, and in the bottom 3673. So this will be the range that I would be looking for price to trade in. If the price breaks below this 136.77 level, then we're looking for a move to the downside. So in this case, we are looking for similar move to pound. No, we're looking for a range-bound market. If the market breaks below this level, then we would expect this kind of a move. But at this point, I am just looking for price to come here and bounce off to the upside. So this may be a potential area for a long 3677 level or 3680 level, and then looking for price to go all the way to 3750. If the price breaks above this level, then we're looking for price to do a back test and move higher because dollar is strong. However, if the price does not break the 3750 level, we could see it come back into the range again. So I'm considering this as a range-bound market. Aussie here, Aussie had a huge drop, very, very big drop. We had talked about this 75.50 level, and we were looking for, yesterday this was very neutral candle, and we were looking for we were looking to see if the price would hold this level 75.50. It held this level, was not able to break above. I was not expecting this big a drop. I was looking for price to come into this level or potentially back into the middle of this range, but that was a huge drop. So as a result of this, we are bearish. That's a big bearish candle. So now we are looking for price to pull back a bit, and then looking for, so we're bearish on this based on the big drop. So what we have here is price has broken below this level and it is continuing. Okay, so we have seen price break through this level. Price has broken through this level, so we could see a back test here or even higher into this pivot point level, 74.60 level, or it may just go up to here. So it looks like it's ready to drop already, so we may not even get a pullback. However, that is a pretty big candle. And that's a huge candle for the daily. However, we have seen some of these candles in the past. So here's an example, huge drop here, price pulls back and then drops again. So I am looking for this type of a pullback here before a drop, because then we get a better entry in this. But overall, I'm bearish on this one. It would be nice if the price pulls back into 74.50 or even slightly higher into 74.60 level here, just because there's more pips for us then. But this will be the first pullback level that I'd be looking for. So this is where that level is coming from. And it would be nice if it pulls up higher to give us a better entry. However, we'll have to see how far it wants to pull back. But overall, we are bearish on Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here. In this case, we did have a big drop today. The difference here is that price has, we got positive data. So let's go look at our New Zealand. So we had, where's the New Zealand data here? We saw, nope. Okay, what's going on? I thought there was a New Zealand news that came out that was positive, but so it was just commodity prices, but that is not. Okay, so nope, no New Zealand data, but we do have trade balance numbers coming out for Aussie, and then we have RBA Governor Lau speaking, and that's probably why it's pushing down, because that's why the Aussie is pushing down, because we did the statement from RBA was not that positive. They were concerned, and as a result we saw Aussie drop. So New Zealand has been overall more bullish than Australian dollar. If you look at New Zealand dollar drop, a lot of this or half of this happened after the FOMC. This one was already way down here before FOMC came out. So between the two, New Zealand is certainly stronger. So in this case, we could see a pullback in New Zealand, and this is the level 6,900 is a good level for a pullback, and then a drop to the downside. Based on the daily candle though, this looks bearish, and our first target would be 68.44. Below that, we are looking at this level, 67.96 level, so about 6,800 level. So bearish and looking for a pullback into 6,900. So looking at the 1 hour chart, this is the 6,900. This is where price was, price had seen support before it dropped, so we could see that. Or another thing we may see is a pullback into this level, 69.20. So we're looking for a pullback either into 6,900, which also lines up with our pivot point, daily pivot, or we're looking for pullback into 69.20. So either one. Overall, though, I am bearish on this and looking for 68.44, so, or 68.50, sorry, I should say. 68.47 approximately. So 68.50 level as the first target. Second target would be about 6,800. So those will be the two. Another pair. So I need to reset up my charts again. Aussie New Zealand dollar. This one should be bearish. So this is where we started the bearish move in Aussie New Zealand here. We had a bearish engulfing candle. Today we had a big drop. So now, based on what it looks like, we are looking for another move to the downside. However, do keep in mind for Australian dollar, we have Governor Laos, RBA Governor Laos speaking, and we also have the trade balance numbers that come out. So trade balance is basically the difference between export and imports. So for for Australia, this is a positive number. If you look at US numbers, they're usually negative. They're always in a deficit. This Australia, these numbers are positive. That means they're exporting more than they're importing. This is a good indication of how the economy is going to do, because if the exports are strong, the economy will be strong as well. So this is a very important number for Australia. So as a result of that, market will be focusing on this. If this number comes out really positive, then we could see Australian dollar pull up a little bit more. However, if this is negative, then we should see this drop, and of course this RBA Governor Lau speaking. So between the two, Australian dollar is more negative, it's more bearish. So as a result of that, and a big daily close like this, we're looking for another move to the downside. The target here would be a 107.20 level. So that's a good pair to trade. So other charts I do need to go back and set up. And so we will just look at these for today. But in terms of the pound, I am going to watch it for a bit. But this is where I am looking at a potential pending order right here. 1.2900, and looking for price to drop, or I may, if it doesn't pull back that much, we may just wait for a break of this level, 28.63, and then a sell. Walter, you still in pound Aussie from this morning? How's that going? Oh, perfect. Yes, Aussie has just been so, it's been getting killed, and pound has been positive today. So that is a good long. That's great, and I think Aussie bearishness, sorry, is going to continue at least into the RBA Governor Lau's speech. All right. So any other questions? Okay, tomorrow we'll go back to all of our charts. I will. I just need to set them up again. So we'll look at the other pairs tomorrow. But for now, that's what we have. And I will send out. I will post it in Skype when I have entered this trade. But keep this in mind if you are looking at it yourself. See how price moves. This is what we are looking at, and I'm going to. I'm finding that price has not been moving very much in the New York session, so it has been a bit of a struggle trying to get more of a bigger trades in the New York session. As a result of that, I'm going to work on getting the trades out prior to that, so that we are catching like the big move instead of coming. So by the time we get to New York, price is already down here, and then becomes difficult because there's not much of a profit target left. So what I'm trying to do is looking for pullbacks and then taking the trades from the pullbacks. So in this case, I would say keep your size very, very small, or demo trade while we are making this change. But more over the next couple of weeks, we are going to test this out, and I will let you know what trades I am placing in the evening. So we won't do a whole bunch of trades, but we'll start off with some that we like, and out of that, we may have to just start kind of setting those trades up as pending orders, as opposed to market orders that we do in the New York session, just so we can get a little bit more mileage out of the trades. Okay, any other questions before we call it a wrap? All right, so let's call it a wrap for today.